Introducing the future of hassle-free and seamless financial transaction. The Una Wallet app, empowering you to effortlessly manage your money anytime, anywhere. With the Una Wallet app, you can now enjoy branchless banking, wallet-to-wallet transfer, wallet-to-cash, and bank cross-border payments. Deposit at a bank and withdraw from any Una branch. Get ready to experience the ultimate banking convenience with the Una Wallet app. With just few taps on your phone, you can effortlessly add funds, withdraw, and send money to your loved ones. The Una Wallet app also provides a detailed history of your transaction, making it easier to track your expenses. So, what are you waiting for? Download the Una Wallet app today on Play Store or App Store and say goodbye to hassle of traditional banking. Una Forex Bureau Limited, delivering much more than money.
Welcome to another edition of our show. Baringol ngal bismillah na Kerr Fatou program oton kamin ke aramisa bi murunta na jam koteke. Of course with us I have Dr. Ousman Gajigo. Doctor, welcome to the show. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
It's been a little while though.
Yes. I got family new there.
Be famine la, huh?
Be famine na ni boring.
Great. And of course, Honorable Honorable Gibba,
yes.
Welcome back. Ite kabiri ni Suleiman Famata Jandre Burtajan. Suleiman kabda e borndi janne.
No, me break no.
Break no.
And also the country was so dusty.
It was so dusty.
So August, we are also on this yes. Boring senor. And don't phone you call. Don't stop until summer. I
have to come and see your family.
No, definitely. Until evidence are there. Biam every year. Na nyolo anin na fenko mano. I dedicate it to the hospital and also the orphans.
You don't look like a farmer. Do you have a farm or are you just ikamole bulala?
No, until Musenal born, brought up, schooled, and even still farming. We walk from na Saturday Jirama to Buyam, 12, 13, 15 kilometers. Nimbore ya fweko, ifama ko domuro, ifama ko domuro be kunkoto. You go and eat, continue farming. This is how we are brought up. So jankom mondo nada doku nyinola.
Anyway, I promise to come and get a farm you. Dr. Gajigo,
no problem. No, you Saturday from Menkana, be bindekela. Be bindekela na fenkoto. Saturday Menkana.
Okay.
Be bindekela na kunkoto. Had a vast farm of kus.
Okay.
And also a sarol finance senanyina. The leaves are promising.
Okay.
The leaves are and it's raining because Namira no Samada Fralaten, but it's going fine. If it continues, though there are some destructions in and out within the area because Fanambe Mnyame as at now. You know, but it's going fine. Farming season kai. The leaves are promising.
Okay.
Everywhere you go, you see green.
Okay.
Yes,
it looks good.
Yeah.
Doctor Fanamu family. Doctor, how is the farming benyadi in you know?
Farming work I have ni be nyoke kan kai most likely abe better yala bare tiola karola banko be abebe fenkela dul bije body bu nyola karola kata parts of nyamina aning salum la karado la mialon ko tiol be falin kawato min na jiolo ra demanding of course dul bije aman low so banko kam is a bit uneven dul kay la sama it should be okay dul bije even though Samana signed August back, and in September, part of September, I will mean July. Sikeno ay blado la yield campaign. So ni waka entalo na funin sama bandaning harvesting keta banko be, but it looks like blado will be wala tio. Problem ave fenkela demanding.
Okay.
But ngadua ala ma
ngadua de fwa be banko.
Abe banko.
So I mean this Amansia. First, we look at what is trending before ngadu nakachako no bi nakachabe kela on financial issues or the MPC report. The Central Bank quarterly report and of course the National Assembly Minister for Nantata Jeka report the deputy la quarterly spendings ala report for Nambo for Njibera and I think also a very important topic maybe Njibera on the Auditor General Mbo for Njibera, but what is trending obviously is the United Democratic Party.
Yes.
The one for the whole like couple of weeks it's been, you know, they were selecting their flag bearer. It was very contentious, you know, it was competitive. 11 candidates applied. I think Mayor Talib Bensouda withdrew at some point, and then 10 proceeded. But Kunung, the veteran leader, Lawyer Ousmane Dabo, was selected as the flag bearer of the party going into the 2026 presidential election. Honorable,
yes, thank you. Political, okay. I think UDP has manifested their name. Though for me, in the aspect of my way out, Western democracy, I'm not a fan to that.
Okay.
I believe in our own traditional norms and values. You know, but UDP, they did most, and this is what Mbeka Meng Jube Patriot. You know, Albundali Yele, Molia apply from everywhere, and in which they did that. You know, so they also have a central committee, Melanco, and the process, as what we've looked in the outside, control Mamabe. But the outside looks good. The process it had a and in which it was also not cohesive, coming fitina manage Melanco itandiroke. I was only disappointed when, you know, certain issues or element within the party and in supporters, the way they were raining insult to Stalin. You know, on the appliance of whatever. But though fanang, yani mo fanang ka karanne. You know, coming for it's just like apply what wahwa head. And if he said that, koninda boy apply la. So exactly. So nameda ate coming justify what unko. I gave it in the last me ama apply after dabo ate apply dabo for I apply. But thank God he also learned he withdrew.
But was that justified reason Puruka attack?
No, then I mean there are within parties certainly. Molbi a melanco, they have vengeance within people. So until Juberoto, you know, is wrong. And you go into insulting politics, manjari insult. You sell your agendas. Talib also is among the party. He has an executive position. So Kamfan in Nendrol, I can say the wale press or diala for he resigned from the position. And war in normal politics but he went and met Dabo. Amen kuloto discourse but mem for kachata men and Dabo also came and also released an audio. I think also of an idea within the party. And I also support that a leader cannot call but to far finger. Kabin Talib Tada he came out and now said, stop this. Is his right? Is mandated by the law, particular manifest, anyanda kake. So ala application o imanyana ka nenni walla. So he strongly came, and I think wafanan talata bake. The division be kwali ala bake. And I think is almost then in the process 3, you know, were finally selected. That is Dabo, Amadou Sane, and also Bori Toure. So in that process, we declared that we had the votes. Remember, 54.
65,
you know,
that was 65.
Yeah, exactly, 65.
8 and Amadou 2.
I think 2. So generally, I also saw a picture. They also work together. Let's join. And I think when they focus that way, it will also pay dividend. And again, also, I think for UDP, if they want to make progression, now is the right time. You cannot tell Bula. You know, they should go to him. Fatou membe ka kento la Gambia politi wala ko nini mo sonkata ay kufa hanada ko I have resigned talema fa about UDP he has resigned from the position
from the executive
but he is still a mayor and now he controls
the second largest region.
So nyanda kamenke wala let them engage.
Yes,
I think I saw Alaji Dabo or who
no, it's Almamy Mane
saying thank you Almamy Mane.
They are going to approach to negotiate. They're going
then
to
they work on a reconciliation. I think this is the best method. And now if you look at the political landscape of this country akamuta ko the NPP some of them and within all be condemned they have the same candidate and Yamira ko abekala the same thing you see cool be wala nyama. But what I will also advise UDP is high time they also reflect back and it's high time for members for the sensitized within constituency ward level kaiten ko nim fadu ko ba apply nim Suleiman ko ba apply because now for example now more men ko political long a lot of people apply about 11 but why did they single out Talib call the name baba with the rest of the candidates? So imagine you see now ni moma hakilo da amina ko is it Talib something else or fenne tabita Talib wala fenne bije. So imagine with double interference I odo yin fenke we should also calm down and I think they should not leave Talib alone. Ninko ha ngabulaje Talibeta Jumalan Talibiti. Let's not listen. The executive should not listen within the militants. You know, but it onyanta kela samatol dung. Even Dabo, let him sit with Talib ya kacha.
Imamira is late. Before an hour, Doctor, yen entire process ning the selection process of the Talib issue and obviously finally selecting NM Ousainou Dabo as the party leader.
Yeah. I mean, as an outsider, they obviously in terms internal dynamics, so I'm just like any average Gambian observing from outside. I have no inside track information. Mang ni moment diam ila committee to je, will say cool for for me to have any special knowledge.
Yeah.
So ndanga minji jero wolem as any regular Gambian. I think it's a good sign them coming selection okita. Kabri ya kankula coming be flag bearer to mondro ke kan. Mojama ye pour faiji.
Yes.
I think was a healthy development.
That's good.
They will prefer la dina enaro mo kilintaro ya fugo he. Nyilem fengo mo kana lo ya fe ba agents la. So alenga nyin Clinton bo nyila nyaton kote. So the fact that he mojama so to milie la it all do the contest nyun kono was a positive development. So partiol be Gambia jang nyanta ka nila nkala fi democracy min na masakunda alu fanan tamandi na partiol
fanan kon
just like any Gambian right so like a contest for a national post partiol fana manke motati hani telephone ya lo ne partiol mundi a vehicle for national development.
That's true.
So the same democracy lafta nga min suro na banko kan anyanda commence la partiol fango. So coming honorable mim fanam fo it's unfortunate candidate Clinton a barada je ba ya nem ba kele adu nga manjare wala amu party membalti mi yalon kabel executive I right sotole in fact I responsibility sotole na lon ko ate asembo ba bulle alondo fanam ba bulle pour ka lo place in fact your responsibility for sotole kela ka participate imanya nasila na wala ni sa keno in fact ni man participate ku ye silande kake you actually running away from your responsibility. So nyantale ka mol encourage ka participate ila selection mechanism na atra ala mechanism yin ilata ala abambanta sembo so and you believe that I resilience so hani ya test nyao nya it's good. Ita nyantale imanyana kasilang competition weke. So it's a better ko mo milier ida dum di selection rasiata but the unfortunate thing milketa ni nendirol nyinte hopefully ni science so boni na politics because ni moye kuma sobearum so be mi mfola ye kuma keso so be mi mfola nendiro manyane tarlaji so hopefully ni mu lesineti besi base Milan ebe UDP o e mantra UDP o
na politiko kono ngo bondije
so nyi wokai UDP tadal sign yela flag bearer soto so ela supporters ela decision is made today tell le bulusai how they are going to approach but kukilim bije nga ñinande élection o keta ñamen añin sélection o keta ñamen o ñanda fanan ka ñitandi mollale ko coming samala élection o min binaka 2026 min keta 2021 ane min keta 2026 mo kana amira abebe kele clean so élection o jampata ku jamale si falin no sama so kana tariya ka foko bitun ñing sélection o bantale ngalon jumañol lebel wala ngalon mine be kala 2026 min be kala 2026 ala damale
ka mo startal ka already baro congratulate ngaje ba fukan ka baro congratulate but and I think I saw more fana be min foko wolon talib nendro da manyanta tinere by withdraw ba even though ate mafoko nendro latina withdraw ta ako out of respect anin dabo sitale kachata because I dabo nyin kala dabo ya intentional file ko abe run lale but some people ko wanyo nyin kandita fe bale ko latina withdraw ta. Do you think there was a reason or do you think it was because of anin dabo conversation? No, I tell you for you anyway.
Yeah, it's not about hearing from him or he has informed the populace. Because even Dabola Kachan and Talib, it came Santong Awalemo. But the Duma men Kachata Maoje. And my own Jernya, Ngamenje Talib to Walemko. Look at him. Nominata Kala nomination, Fenkoli in Samba. And look at him after that period.
Yeah.
So you realize he was ready to face it.
Yeah, yes.
But when he went along Kokuol Befengagang, he was never ready. Now, after meeting Dabo, more you and psychology ma karang, you look at him expressing in that video that he was sending to the people and also to the party militants. Something is wrong somewhere. In short, Walenko, I mean, Tabulu, it was heavy. You know, and now mind them there. Arable coming for Akel. That is the man you use here analyze.
Yeah.
Because out of Safono, Ma for Talib may be thinking this way, but until a Jerinyato, Hanna Kerante, I'll think this way. Ne. Looking at 11 candidates, out of those 11, Ejumale ye moy audio de man ko yaneng. Ya caricature. For me, I've not had any ye memfo against Mendimita Kotale. And secondly, also, you a farmer fana la bango and in process fana manjam fanyola bag.
And then he's also going to the commission.
So he's also going to the commission. So 3 elements le lata kang. And if you look at Talib is not up to 40. I think 38.
38.
You know, so didn't so certain pressures abe kwali la bag. And Talib is not somebody melango he had worked in civil service. Melango he can bear the pressure, from school, to other end. Then at the biggest Palazzo Melanco Molisi, hit him hard. It was mayoral. So these are all factors Melanco until a Jubernia may also turn him to see, yes, do you know what? Let me withdraw. And as I withdraw also, let me also resign from the position. Then we bajela, well tension or come. But I've not seen him go. He may be thinking of doing politics on his own. Until a Jerinya he's just trying to wind down.
Well,
I could stabilize.
Do you think so? Because the reason why I said there might be indications of that, because as we come to the show now, just a few minutes ago, Tombong Sedi, the administrative secretary of the United Democratic for Media, has just resigned.
Yeah.
Babukar Lopi Jame, Babukar Lopi Jame has been with the UDP since 1996. He's a founding member, and he is the deputy national campaign manager. He has just resigned. And both of them...
From the position or from the party?
From the party itself.
Not from the position and the party?
Tombong in his resignation, this is a report that Kerr Fatou wrote. Tombong in his resignation expressed gratitude for over the years that the several positions he's held, chairman of the Foreign Administrative Secretary, Foreign Affairs, Diaspora Chair for Foreign Affairs Committee, member of the Fundraising Committee, Administrative Secretary for Media, Chair of the Organizing Committee, blah, blah, blah. Sadly, he emphasized that his decision was rooted in a conviction that Mayor Bensouda embodies the leadership qualities necessary to steer both the UDP and the Gambia to a brighter future. He lamented, however, that the current direction of the party does not align with his vision.
Okay.
So he's only telling you his Team Talib, right? He's saying, I cannot in good conscience continue my membership when the potential of a leader like Mayor Bensouda is not being recognized and embraced as the best path forward. Similarly, Babukar, a founding member of the UDP, who has been with the party since 1996, described his resignation as a painful but necessary choice. In his letter, Jammeh recounted nearly 3 decades of his loyalty, sacrifice, but said recent development had left him with no option but to step down. Jammeh accused the party of marginalizing and insulting Bensouda over other progressive voices, warning that such actions undermine the very principle of fairness and respect upon which the UDP was founded. I cannot, in good faith, continue to serve in a party environment where those who bring new ideas and genuine commitment to national renewals are vilified rather than supported. So this is signaling something. These are executive, and somebody told me to brace up for more resignations.
Okay.
Somebody said that to me. Just before I came, I was just calling, because I saw this resignation, and I was calling. And the fact that these are 2 executive members who are saying this, what does that say? You are telling me you don't think Talib has any other agenda, he might just take a break. This doesn't look like that. If Tombong is resigning, this guy, Babukar, who has been in a party for what, how many years? For 30 years almost, since 96. You think he's just going to resign and fold his hands?
Yeah, come Dr. Ememfo.
Yeah.
I do tell Gambians, change is imminent. Even in Parliament, I think day before yesterday, I told all members that we are seeing the window of change blowing in this country. And now, 2016, Menketa Molnena Mayella. And the same replica is also surfacing in this country. For example, in my own thinking, as are now the candidates that are surfacing in parties, until a choice, I will say I don't have a choice yet.
Okay.
Current party candidates, Melanco, they're winning for first.
Current party candidates.
Candidates, thing. Mamoje Melanco, now face that the government. Because Fatou, until objection is this. Either agreed or disagreed. Everybody is entitled to his opinion. 2016, the notion may be willingly, until we are defiant, or no change. But they came because they wanted change. Well, now, Wednesday, I had asked questions to the Justice Minister. Security sector reform. Gafala bill, nowhere. Police la bill, nowhere. Immigration la bill, nowhere. Fire service la bill, nowhere. They're calling it SIS. Constitutionally, when they send their reports, whatever, SIS book mentioned nowhere. Drug law la bill, nowhere. Immigration la bill, nowhere. So now, when you look at this security institution, for 8 years, you're working on security sector reform. So it is the same coalition partners that join to make sure this is addressed. They came with the resolute constitution. They came with the resolute the Public Order Act. These are the people.
Yeah, but it is a coalition of blame.
No, I'm not. No, just wait. Okay. I'm not telling you.
I'm just asking.
Because after 5 years, it was the ruling of the coalition. Hanata within the line, it will futu tinyata. We will call them that way.
Okay.
So in 2021, election came. Barrow won.
Yes.
It is now Barrow and his government.
Yes.
The same thing, falling on Manke. But now I'm telling you, you join a 5-year period program with an agenda. Almam femfe mama when you are it didn't mediare water and so come nata I started blaming you. So until so to me until a jerinyar Gambians should be wise enough to exclude everybody that involved both coalition 2016 up to 2021 Ibe Park. Let's have a new face.
We have a new face.
That is ready, visionary. Mango is not tainted.
That is not tainted.
That's not tainted. Now look at the commission of Jamela Asset.
Yeah.
So you see, this is just the beginning. Fembije is an arc, a volcano, now erupta within the systems. From 2016 people who had participated up to the last, we'll be very surprised. One tell a Jerinya Olemko, Gamelo Nyandeka Wuli sign. A person who has integrity ready to face it.
Yeah.
Now Londino, Ebajala sign, he'll be able to cure the wounds of 2016 la failure. He'll cure the wounds of 2021 la failure. Then now we start afresh. Because all these laws, I'm telling you, until we only have 1 year to go.
To elections.
The only bill that is before the National Assembly, this ONS, National Security Council bill. And I can tell you the failure of that bill, it was settled. When you look at the schedule of our National Assembly, it was settled. We had started on the 8th. It was settled on the 9th. So that 9, Amanna, do you know why? The Vice President is not here. So you see, an important bill that is almost at the chunk of finishing. Now, it's only Nata has a time to lay. So, below, I engage Dauda, engage Ministry for Justice. When I engage Ministry, he said, so a lot of bills are not even before. But we are part of Defense and Security. We did consultate DCAF. DCAF did the validation and all consult of all these bills. With finances, DCAF, validated, a process of putting things in place. So now, when talk of security sector reforms, is it only going to be by mouth or by training? When the bills that will support the agenda are not before in any of those institutions. So, colonial law, when you know, if I be in positions, within this period, if I don't do what I'm supposed to do, my concept not even give me to say, okay, I am going to riot for the position again, or I am going to stand for the position. So maybe when I mention the issue of Talib, I tell a Moma, I can say the body language is on comfort. He's relaxing. These are our supporters all. Sometimes happen. The supporters can force you to do something. But you can also say no. Yes, in as much as you want me to do something. But I am not prepared to work. So as at now, he's confused.
Oh, he's confused. Okay.
He's depressed with all the 3 elements of Farmer Banda, UDP la pressure. He's in the commission. So the fate of him is not known yet.
Okay.
So ndenga menje wale nko atebe la moyrola. Though maybe within the 2 months for they may prepare the ground already. But Talib as at now, Nathan Delem Fanan. I will tell him to hold on.
To stay.
Ya ne Fatou ibuka patio law. Wala rioting for election and electoral positions. I remember something in Mel Tata. That's not how to call it. Election. Is a family. So this is a problem. Look at when he came his appearance into politics. It was difficult after the election mat. The problem in BJ Walenko. Financial viability counts in the position of presidency. Because the Labanko Tinya Dalesai. I was very mad in parliament. It's only a few of us may vote. Can you imagine? These were the same people, democracy, rule of law. About election. We went to talk about somebody, Fatou who has a right, Doctor who has a right, I has a right. Political party Londila. Lafta ka register, pura a banko dema, pura banko taman, indefana jigita kona party about taman la nyame. You are now telling me pay $2 million
for that.
I told them.
Anu kabring jamea kenung itolle tata ike.
Ndenga ko kunu ngama ko talanga ko atol fele. Nga ko social atol. You people are the one.
When Jame proposed only one.
So it's only few of us, maybe 5 of us.
I think only
that day parliament man fenke ndol foni lulo so foni nanol. We vote I think I've seen PDIS Cham. I think KK Barrow. UDP also they went to this Congress. So it was only 5 against 12.
Wow.
The NPP, they agree. Others were even proposing 3 million. You have others
4 million.
Others were 4 million, 5 million.
Wow.
So now
are we going to look at a singular party system in this country?
So now for constitution, we even quoted the constitutional provision that enshrine everybody has the right to vote and to form a political party. So now that the Gambia is a multi-party system. So now party you have umbrella parties. The umbrella parties are with NPP. Because, for example, be natural easy today, they're going to follow the rule. They will decongest the alliance parties. Ask them who has a bureau, who has regionals, who has what it takes to be a party. It doesn't matter. How now you have 10,000 parties. Call young Falandi. Now we went to who will be a president. You talk about $1 million.
$1 million just to
a National Assembly member, 150 million. Now I'm telling you, the bill has already been passed. Third reading like to sign. That is on the 29th. Now get the third reading. It is going to the president about assent. Now assent sign.
It becomes law.
This is a warning. Whoever in the country you want to register a political party,
hurry up and do
but
it.
sign it.
Yeah,
sign. They want it. Now by the end of September, by October 15 or so,
it's going to be
Barrow may ascend it, then now ascend the Abanta.
2 million.
Then you have to go and pay $2 million. So you see, these are the notions of world member. But not that them talib team. It will take his time. For the Gambian, they can push you there.
Yeah.
You are very potential. You are a good candidate. You are political ni entata. When you are destroyed once, created the so he need to do his checks. Ala mother fan consult. He consult his brotherhood. He consult his families. Ala mall consult, even friends.
Yeah.
Akana angata.
Akana hauj.
So nather until you brace ndol political by accident we came.
Yeah.
Na men ndol fanga be kola la pour ma continue because be durim ba kala.
Ite da hanya la wala. Ite da hanya ngami fongo kam to ko ngami njeten. Party will be non alliance to.
Yes.
APRC no alliance. Wala ma jiba yote. NPP la no alliance.
Aw mukeba.
Mukeba mari nyo.
Mukeba mari le.
Nakara nyunu fanam farasta wolbe kela UDP no alliance.
So don't be surprised also. The no alliance of various three parties can take over the country against the yes. And it's a signal. Nobody knows. Politics, you never know what will happen.
Exactly. There's no permanent friend in politics.
And I can tell you, don't be very surprised. No alliance. Don't base it on see. Let's all see Gambia. And undecided voters are convinced.
I think what the Gambians want is the opposition to come together.
Exactly.
The opposition to put their differences aside, come together for the interest of the nation. Because majority of Gambians agree. So I think that's the thing the Gambians will love to minje kaje ko opposition for no alliance for nyade alliance as long as abe manke incumbent. Very incumbent fana yela group o sotole. They have a lot of parties under the presidency. So ni opposition ol fana be kafta nyoma iketa kilenti at least abekela contest ground ringolati.
Ya ndinga membo.
But no be te fongo fana o fana mu do ko.
Non de haninga membo mole walenko. It's rather unfortunate kaje ko.
Yeah.
You are an opposition, them opposition ode.
Yeah.
Ndol kanyo neng. Compete. We should not be competing. Ndol ni manya na kombe wala membe mansato.
Yeah.
So the philosophy of politics ninga wo long nga understand.
Yeah.
Ku jama be rectify lale.
Yeah.
But say Fatou is this, Gibba is this, Dr. Munyeneti. So ba jare ndol mela ngo don nyande ka group. To form and now make a change of mbeme ngabaka. So the moment intol farasita, we hate each other.
Problem
the incumbent will be chance and I'm telling you now, the incumbent as per the look, Mavo, I am saying my own thing. The incumbent be konna ga den ko ha ndela nunto nyobari na. Ni wala kana ko ranke.
Yeah. Well, could not provoke. I mean, jokingly though, the president was passing while UDP were doing their selection. I have my report, I haven't catch that video and we put it out.
No video.
The president wrote, but Tamika Jengaba
that time go GCCU. That is the same road.
So Abetamika wave, so they were also waving back. It was funny, but I told them, they are cousins.
Yeah. No,
they are cousins. But but also the president congratulated the lawyer Dabo today, being selected as the party leader. He congratulated, and that's the beauty of democracy. I think that's a very good thing, and the NPP they're very good at that, those kind of stuff. So they congratulated the UDP, and the president,
political. Ninga nyo understand, we will not be entering into insults. And the insults in politics is becoming a norm sign. Ikasila lefa to continue in politics because of insults. And we should all learn, irrespective of which political party. Insults, all manke jambandi kuti mensi dadaroke. Because for example, politics is all about is from the word politos, mean polite. So anytime I'm polite political kono. Ibe jumale sabala na kaite na come and join me, we win something. And the moment I for ko, I tell him quality. You will be alone. Because near my carry winter, the number they increased. Near my region carry the winter. You're talking about the number. So when you make anger, you don't come from you don't disown. You use tribal sentiment, religious aspects, kuolu, and sabote kuolu. At the end of the day, people will distance and say, So by these are issues me along control as Gambians. We should try and avoid it. Because you know, I've never been the member of council. Deputy Jelle Tambita.
Yeah.
You know, so on definitely bedamen to jeng. You know, iba fola atafana nene sita no jang.
Yeah.
So membi je wole momo bi palaso to. Ano ndaka mem mole fato palaso mem bala fata palaso be wala palaso me alon ko amang bambang. Wala political position oti. Be if I'm fully employed, there are rules that I follow. But be politician no. Not employment is the people.
Yeah.
Be ikonte sama. It can change. Yeah. So ibajela say when you are in politics, do it as it is auto. So ibajela say more memandino. But I think Gambians let's try and work for a better change. In politics, you know, Fenkolka mola wulunyal sata. Sometimes near moi itafanka ikasilale. Ndolo we think of I think our journey will soon end. Because Ninkolu asangarita ibe wulu la ifa malla ila mama nyolu ila bon singolu.
So but this is one thing I say look, if you look at people like Osenu Dabo, I think even President Barrow today, the kind of insults he can do Nimbanko Kang. Ni wol Halifa Saleh nyol, Doy nyol, Kabirin 1990.
Yeah, Jamme there.
Jamme, yes.
Don't forget Jamme.
And Jamme, all these leaders, to be honest though, Yendiro min taki Kabirin ya kumasi for B. And do Hani saying Imam Bori, Imam Jenke. So Nita Kobe Bisala, kana Bisalde. Because Tonya, you guys are following big footsteps. More many along Tonya. Amanya na sutola politiko ko. Amanya na sutola Tonya na alfalu kujamale takiya. So I think, you know, young people also fanankana tariya kabisali. Now understand ko, yeah, it's not acceptable. Nindiro manya na sutola politiko ko no. But if fanang, we cannot forget ko fanango just because of that and give up on our country. We cannot. Sometimes I got discouraged for, you know, I'm giving up, but we cannot. Ninke bali batami ngibeke nyimbankoe. Imang give up. I don't think we should all give up. I think we should fight. It's a good fight. At some point, you know, we will succeed, right?
Definitely.
And I think what also shows the majority of the UDP, they want Lawyer Dabo to steer the affairs for the 2026 president election.
As
for what happened, 65 against out of 81 people, that is an overwhelming majority. So we congratulations, Mr. Dabo. Now fight janenka ko need that. Ngane betele to mona ko dua nye ture dua so na dua jabi tamale so he's
anyanda ka dua so
and I hope he sends it. Now looking at the other thing, what is also trending, that is the National Audit Office, Dr. Gajigo. Yesterday, the Office of the President announced that the President has made some cabinet changes. We have a new defense minister after a while now. The Minister of Trade, Babakar Juf, yes, have been moved to the Ministry of Defense. And then the Auditor General has been moved to replace Juf. But yesterday we saw people saying he did not accept, he declined. Almamy called me at night. He sent us a story to say, look, I want the story out. This is unfortunate. They want to sacrifice this guy, blah, blah, blah. He read it. And I think it picked up, everybody picked it up. And this morning we saw a letter from a press release from the Office of the Auditor General saying he respectfully declined the position of minister. He wants to continue his term. And we want to say that though, the term of the Auditor General is 9 years, non-renewable. And the National Audit Act stipulates stringent measures how you can remove the Auditor General. The President cannot just jump, just like he appoints or fires ministers. He cannot do that with the Auditor General. There are measures. There should be a tribunal to investigate him, and those tribunal, Fongola component has certain criteria, all of these. Alatamu 9 years later, they should be, that is an independent office. So, and that's why it has raised, for me, I have said, it is not about the man, it is about the office. Because I had a lot of calls and people told me also some people have concerns about the man himself or the issues that he's been doing. Certain people think he is targeting certain individuals, that he has issues with investigating them. For me, I have said this to those people. I said, look, for me, it is not about the man. It is about the office. The National Audit Office is an independent body, and that is we should protect. And when the law says the president cannot do this, it has to go through. That's the law. And I think, I don't know, what is your opinion? I saw you also came out with bang, bang, bang. I saw that. You call it, what did you call it, Banana Republic?
Yes, I mean, these are the activities of essentially a Banana Republic. It's unfortunate that but the reality is the reality. I mean, this thing is disturbing on many levels. First, on a legal issue, as you pointed out, not only the National Audit Act, even from what I understand, the existing constitution, it is there. That you have to remove the Auditor General for cause. You cannot just remove him. So if you go and move him to another another post without his consent, and you already announced his replacement, and he indicates that he doesn't want to move, you are effectively moving him, removing him, and without specifying the cause and without going to the procedures outlined by law in the Constitution and in the NAO Act. So, as a purely legal matter, and I'm not a legal expert, but this one is a clear reading. On a purely legal matter, this is the wrong way to go about it. But what makes this, I mean, even advanced countries, leaders in advanced countries can do illegal things. That's not unheard of. But what makes this thing a Banana Republic Act is the way I mean, this, you can sort of imagine the sort of advisors around our president who would actually, advise this course of action without actually, thinking and thinking about the implication of what it means. I mean, if how do you go and appoint somebody at a ministerial post without the cabinet is the top decision-making body in the executive. You would think that anybody you appoint, especially in a ministerial post as industry, employment, I mean, all of these things is the longest name for any ministry.
Employment.
Employment. We have, our economy is going through all sorts of problems. There is no employment. I mean, if you look at the category of youth that are, Gambia has one of the lowest labor force participation rates in all of West Africa. That is why when you look at unemployment rate in the Gambia, it's a meaningless number. If the government tells you unemployment rate is 3%, it's meaningless. Because what that tells you is that the people who are out of the labor force is the majority. You have this category called NEET, not in education, not in employment, not in training. This is a group of, this is basically, among the youth in the Gambia, this is a very high percentage. In other words, youth that are not employed, they are not in education, they are not in training, they are just sitting, just sitting. They're basically taking themselves out of the labor force. So unemployment rate is only calculated as a percentage of people who are either employed or are looking for jobs. At some level, you have an economic slowdown to such a level that there's a group that will become economically discouraged. And we have a very high percentage. This is confirmed by GBOS, GBOS own statistics. So in other words, I mean, this is the ministry that's responsible for industry, which is non-existent in the country, hasn't gone anywhere. The ministry is responsible for trade. You would think, given the state of our economy, and I know we'll talk a bit more about it, if you are going to bring somebody into that position, you will sit down with that person, not only to tell them I'm offering you, but ask them explicitly, these are my visions for this ministry, these are my goals. Tell me how you are going to help execute programs and policies in this portfolio to meet my vision. I would expect you to have a very meaningful conversation with that person. The last thing that should enter our mind is that you had no prior conversation. And here it is coming out, this person who's been offered this ministerial post, didn't want it. In other words, being appointed at this thing came as news to him, for all we know. So this is the part that is a banana republic affair. It means that we have a government here. Well, it's bad enough that you are doing things illegally against the constitution and against existing legislation, and as a government that should uphold laws. But really depressing that your basic functions that you are supposed to do. This would reveal to us why the fact that our economy is not going anywhere, it is no accident. We really have a government that has no clue and doesn't seem to be, in other words, they are so focused on having a change in the National Audit Office. It doesn't matter how much they screw up other portfolios. That, imagine the thinking here. You are bringing somebody, everything here, the movement to the movement of youth to defense, bringing this guy into industry, all these are side shows. It seems here the real goal is just, let's put somebody we want in the National Audit Office, and then whoever we put in the Ministry of Industry, Ministry of Defense, that doesn't really matter. So this is the part that really is depressing. And I think when we reflect on this, we have to be worried. The other thing I mentioned in my Facebook post is what this shows is that there is no governance, and also it means that the body that is responsible for assessing the government on efficiency, on effectiveness, on compliance, now you are weakening those institutions. Once you start weakening those institutions, not only the citizens, but your development partners, the World Bank, the IMF, the African Development Bank, all the others, they won't come out and say it explicitly, or the EU, these bilateral donors. These development partners are not going to have confidence that you will be able to implement programs and projects correctly. And we have a track record. If you look at many of these audit reports that have been done out there, a lot of projects have been badly implemented. It is no wonder, and I pointed this out, Gambia's ODA has been declining over time. And a country that is doing well, when you start doing well and you do reforms, you implement projects as they should be, donors, they can't wait. They line up. You go to a place like Kigali, there is, every donor, every multilateral, bilateral, all their hotels are fully booked because countries can't wait to give money to you. But when you demonstrate that you are incapable or unwilling to implement projects and programs, nobody wants to waste, because nobody wants to give resources, and tomorrow they cannot go to their constituents outside and tell them how those resources have been utilized. This is why this is also important in that respect. The reasons why those protections are built in NAO Act and in the Constitution is that that office needs a certain level of protection so that it can hold the government accountable. And when you weaken those institutions, you are basically telling everyone, broadcasting it to everyone, that we want to continue on our usual way that we've been going, and we don't want anybody to be giving us uncomfortable reports in audit reports.
Gibba, a lot of people said to me today, because I wrote this on my page, and I said we need to protect the office and Mr. Sise, and a lot of people said to people that worked with him, certain people that worked with him at director levels and other people, they said, look, this is not, we see a lot of you guys are saying the guy has so much integrity. This is not about that. They said, number one, he was brought in because the chief of staff is his cousin. They said that. But they also said the office of the auditor is more powerful than the minister's position. Well, much more paid. The Auditor General is has better pay than the minister, but also they have a guaranteed term limit. So this guy is not doing this all because when he came first, there were a lot of issues that people were flagging in there. Even some of the directors were saying sometimes when they do their audit reports, he will sit on them, he will do certain things. There were some internal issues also that they had with him because of allegedly the influence he's getting from his cousin, the chief of staff, who we all know is the president's #1 ally. So people are saying this is not about integrity or stuff, but this is about self. What do you say to that?
Yeah, actually, for me, when I first saw it, I thought maybe it was a story. They just want to fake.
Okay.
So after all, I consulted. I said, I think this is true. Because what I thought was Mr. Boy how to call it, Juf. His background, and also taking up the leadership of defense.
Yeah.
So for that end, I didn't go into detail because I know ministerial positions in the Gambia are all based on political appointment.
Yes.
Because if it was a standard country where it have standard constitution where the parliament is vested to employ ministers, Toure has to go through a process.
Yeah.
Where parliamentary, and now we all know what defense is all about.
Yeah.
So I don't want to go into details into that. The president has his prerogative to appoint anybody. Irrespective, even whatever level that you have, that is he is given the guarantee by the constitution.
Yeah.
So coming to the issue of Cisse, because when I saw Modu Cisse, I was thinking, which of these Modu Cisse?
Yeah.
Because for us, I'm also part of Public Enterprise Committee of the National Assembly.
PEG,
okay. We interacted a lot
with the auditor.
With the Auditor General, and we do a lot of audit reports. Where we had 14 own state-owned enterprises that we look at their audit reports and management letters. During this stay, our interaction, 2022, we came because I knew the transformation that he has did for the National Audit Office. Because when he had created a quality management unit within the audit department. That was 2022 till date. And also he created a state-owned enterprise unit, whereby whenever we have issues of reports, those are the people that he will send to the National Assembly, work together to achieve what we should. And again, they will also be monitoring each and every of those state-owned enterprise, their reports, audit reports, put them together before it is now sent to the National Assembly. And again, he also have what we call, he also created a strengthening institutional capacity through professionalism, where he trained. Not only he absorbed people who are trained, and also retrained them to become qualified accountants. So these are units that he has. And again, he also established outsourcing committee, whereby the national audit, based on its capacity, cannot do all the auditing. They are responsible to do all auditing of government institutions, departments, and ministries, but they outsource. So that outsourcing unit also, committee is created to make sure they look ahead, try to work on effectiveness to make sure it is done. And finally, you will also be very surprised in his tenure, because this is what had moved me to come and also say something.
Yes.
Because I know that he did something.
Yeah.
So the last part that I've also seen what he has did within his tenure, 2022 till date, he established what we call a forensic audit unit. And in that forensic audit unit, you will be very salient. These are few of what this audit unit have did. One, in its establishment, it has audited what we call SO8. That is Sub-Saharan Women Enterprise, so empowerment and demographic dividend plus that project. You know, about in the editing, the revenue loss that they had came across, about 37 million revenue loss to that project. It was through the creation of this forensic unit. And in that same forensic unit, they've also did the audit report. That is the audit report of EU Austed, that is the Banjul project. It's about how many? 48 million lost.
From that project too.
From that project.
And
that is the forensic unit that he has created. Secondly, also, you go to Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital, an estimated revenue, when they've audited, estimated revenue of 19 million
was lost.
Was lost. And again, also in this special unit, that is this forensic unit that is created. Also, you go to the audit of, how to call it, the Department of Parks and Wildlife under the Ministry of, how to call it? Environment. The estimated revenue loss was $180 million. It was through this forensic unit that he's created. Secondly, just to conclude, also in the GIA, that is Gambia International Airline, audit that they did, the special audit that they did in GIA, about 7 million revenue lost. So this was a unit that he has created. So what I was thinking, that he came this far, and plus...
But before you go, where are the reports of all these audits?
No, some of these reports have been shared. For GRA, we've talked about it, it has been sent to public enterprises. Some of these reports are already in public views. The Banjul Plus report.
I know the Banjul audit. So this is the thing.
SO8 also is the same.
Where is it? Is it published? I don't see it.
What I'm saying, you know, when audit sends their report, the mandate is to the cabinet. they do the needful, goes through the National Assembly for scrutiny.
Yeah.
It's just, for example, now, when they did the audit report of COVID-19,
yeah.
it was sent to the National Assembly resolutions.
Yeah.
The resolutions were sent to cabinet.
Yeah.
Now, we, the National Assembly, and also the audit office cannot so charge.
But no, but what I'm saying, the audit, when they do these reports, they are supposed to publish them.
No, they cannot do it. You know, they send.
They send to government.
Plus the National Assembly for onward delivery. The resolutions are generated, sent to cabinet for implementation.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, you know, they have audit reports in their websites.
Yes.
And they share with the public.
You know, that, you know, before sharing,
you are saying,
before sharing,
where does it go through?
You know, before sharing, you know, you send them.
Okay.
When it is shared and validated, put in the National Assembly, then they will now anchor into their website. Okay. It's a process.
Okay.
They cannot do auditing, and now they populate without reaching the National Assembly.
Okay.
So when it reaches the National Assembly, it is now no more theirs. It is in the hands of National Assembly. They will also say, okay, this is what we did. National Assembly came with these resolutions. They will also take that and say, okay, hence we did this auditing so and so and so. This is what we had gone. So it's a process. Okay. So audit itself alone, there are limitations in which they do. They do. For example, their bill also is lingering around. I don't know whether you've also heard that. They also had a bill that they want to make sure they update their laws in order for the autonomy. Audit is an autonomy unit. Yeah. But if the bill is catching them somewhere else, yes. At the end of the day, for them to do effective auditing is a problem. Because today they can come and audit you. The president says audit is an opinion. And now they can even say, but when they're satisfied and say this is what had happened, you know, audit cannot so charge you because they don't have that mandate. They don't. They will send to National Assembly. National Assembly come with resolutions. National Assembly also cannot so charge you. They will send to the police. Police investigate, and now it goes to cabinet. Yeah. Cabinet will now say, okay, Fatou, you are asked this. Gibba, you are asked, Doctor, this is what we did. We are putting X, Y, Z. So when you do everything, send to the cabinet, implementation is not done, it becomes a challenge. Now, currently also, they are also on a special audit of GGC. And I was told, not completing, but they're having a lot of barricades in that audit unit. Yeah. And also, they're also on the ongoing preparation of a Sekuda Wall GRA database, in which they also want to work on auditing. They did, how to call it, special audits, NAVEC, and other issues. Even OSPEC, public enterprises, a lot of reports are generated. Recommendations are sent. We push it to cabinet. This is where it dies. So here, you may say, okay, blame Parliament, blame National Audit, but the outsource of all what we are generating now is at this end. And I can tell you for free, the recommendation of the police of the audit report of GPA, we've been made to understand that staffs who were so charged based on investment of funds have been reinstated to work and asked to pay. For example, if I steal 5 million, 10 million, 2 million, 150, so sorry, 1.5 million, you now say, okay, Fatou, TIC, come again and work, then pay it. What are you trying to tell me? So these are all issues that we have seen. And now you see even cabinet ministers, our last petroleum report, that audit has participated. They had their staffs that had worked tirelessly for almost 1 year. Where does it? We have sent it. Yeah. That report will die. So now, would they blame the audit report and said, audit is not doing what National Assembly are doing that? And now we've had ministers that are saying that there are no fact findings that are showing that these people could do whatever be done. So all these are issues that I think the general knows. And for me, CISE that I know, we've interacted because I knew this. Yesterday I was saying this. Yeah. I said it is going to be very difficult for him to take the position. Yes, not because salary pay, not because audit is more powerful, not because prosperity of the time you are mandated, but I also think that he has that integrity of self-reliance and also his accountability towards what he believes. Because I know CISE is not more of averse into the aspect of trade and industry. He is confined into a special skills. So where he is, better perform. And the other thing that I also think that he really want to move on is, if he goes today, if he goes, he has a lot of assignments. Yeah. Ministries, departments, and agencies. The 2020 report, I think released it when, I don't know whether it's released or not yet released. They're almost finalizing it. And I'm telling you now, the audit is entering into the corners of government now. I'm telling you this. And here I think CISE, we need to, that's why I came out and asked the president. Yeah. If he really wants accountability and transparency, he should leave the man to do his work. Yeah. Because if I had somebody that said, you know, your compound these are dates that are there, I will help you clean this, whatever. When I give the person now, why should I say, okay, in fact, I don't want you to clean this compound in where I'm staying now. I am pushing you to another designation. When you've mandated me, give me a contract for a period and say, this is where I want you to be stationed, help me clean this. So if you remove a particular person, you're not saying a signal that something is wrong somewhere. And again, the person that you're bringing, because I believe, for example, if you want change and you want institutional memory, continuity that you are asking, we have Auditor 1 and Auditor 2.
Yeah. We have serious.
Now, generally, if Barrow was in line, he can say, okay, CC go. First one, so Auditor 1, can you take the position? Then people will see the ladder will come up. People will say, okay, feel this, feel this, feel this. We are now seeing continuity of what CC will do.
But that is the trend, though. That's how CC came also.
No, I understand.
That's the trend.
No, I understand. But I'm just saying to you.
That's not CC's problem. I'm saying government.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's
you know, if so is the case, what I'm just saying now is, I am not trying to qualify how CC came. I am trying to qualify what they have did.
Yeah.
If he leaves this position in this moment, and I'm saying whoever comes, we have only 1 year to election. I don't know whether you understand the tactics.
I understand.
This is that's why I said something is fishy. Something is fishy somewhere, and I think the government need to come out and tell people what had heralded that mentality of community. Because the reason why I say so is this: you know, we have almost a year to elections. If CC agrees and moves to trade, a new person from internal audit will come. If you come, each and every individual leader has his way, the way he wants to do it. He can even take him 1 year to settle down. All audit reports that they have started, they can even say, no, close this. Hold this, get this. I want to start this. I want to start from here. So this is why I'm saying, if it is me, I'm not surprised that CC will decline. I'm not surprised. But I think he did it for the best interest of this country and for the best interest of where the audit, National Audit Office is heading. They have sober people who are ready to work, and they don't bend in any other issues. Even we meet them in Parliament, we meet each other in reports, they are straightforward. So what I believe is the president should understand. And if it is me, if he said he's declined, let him leave him in his position. Because if he said, no, therefore I'm removing you, on what basis?
On what grounds?
It will now be a legal battle. That legal battle also will hinder the process of auditing. Go to court, no, don't go there, don't enter the office. We are sending to court, be leave of administrative leave. So let's wait and see what will be the response of the government. Whether they did it with all good, or they did it if he refused, and they say we are sending administrative leave, let's go to court, we battle there. Then either somebody will act and see the delay. So let's not underrate some of these issues. But because the reason why I'm saying this is currently the pace in which national audit is going is alarming. And they're digging a lot. And it's becoming out. It's coming out. So what I want to get fact here is this. If I was the president, the way he's doing and unearthing issues, I'll be fully ready to support him and be an implementer. Because today, if you implement corruption, so charge and also jail people, put people in behind bars in corruption, people will say that no, the man is ready to fight corruption. But if it is not, all reports have been sent, they're lying, nothing is done to it, it becomes a challenge.
But Dr. Gajigo, why do you think the president will want to remove the Auditor General after everything this guy says that he's doing? Today, the reason why we have even the local government commission is because there were audit reports that they were looking at. Because if you watch the National Local Government Commission, there's nothing that they are investigating on their own. They are going through audit reports that have been done by the National Audit Office. That's what they're going through. And that is why for me, from the get-go, I'm like this national, I looked at this LG as a witch hunt, because there are other audit reports that are lying there and nobody's looking at them. But then you decide, let's look at these people because allegedly they're political opponents to the government. But we know the president said audit reports are opinions. But that's what the National Local Government Commission is dealing with. Now, for somebody that is doing all of this that he has mentioned right now, all these reforms that he's implemented and all these things he's doing, why do you think the government wants to change him for a position that's not even his area? Why do you think? What would have prompted something like this?
Listen, I'm not in Barrow's head, so I'll draw my conclusions from what I can see.
Yeah.
And from what I can see here, it's quite clear. You have a government that is not serious about governance and ruling. You have a government that's profoundly corrupt. This is what I see based on what I, as a, I'm not in National Assembly. I'm not privy to information that honorable is privy to.
Yeah.
But we see a lot of things.
Yeah.
Now, this guy was appointed. I don't understand the reason, the vetting process for putting him in there. I had no clue. I didn't know him.
Yeah.
But anyway, he got appointed. The president had the power to appoint him. So he was there. He's supposed to serve a particular term.
9 years.
9 years.
No,
that is not there. That, from what I understand, there has been no complaint about his performance. I mean, we would have heard about it.
You would have heard about it.
You would have heard about it on the last assembly. Maybe he wasn't the best candidate to begin with. I had no idea. But so far, since he has been appointed, audits have been done. And I don't think, again, I understand that he has a relative working closely with the president, but I don't think, I have not seen any credible report saying that the audits that he's been doing, he's been, biased or helping the government. So going, on objective facts, on what we have observed, I don't see a reason. I'm not saying it's not there. I don't see a reason or a real credible reason to remove him. So if the president or or his government feels that there is a good reason to remove this guy, then remove him. Present the reason. Let's go through the procedure. But also if you have a good reason, and the reasons that are valid reasons for removing him include things like incompetence, include things like corruption and other things. Why would you want him in cabinet?
Thank you.
Why, So if it's really he has been performing badly to the extent that you're going to remove him well short of his thing, why would you want him in cabinet?
In cabinet. And so these are some of the basics why you should remove an auditor.
Exactly. So it tells you now, you begin to wonder. So like I said, I don't need to, now it's immaterial as to whether he was the best audit candidate. Given the absence of any information that he has been abdicating responsibility, has been doing what he's not supposed to do. I'm knowing the track record of this government, knowing the high level and the pervasive corruption that is happening in this government, and their lack of willingness to tackle it. I am very suspicious when this government wants to remove somebody from an independent office that has been finding and publishing reports that are implicating top-level officials in his government. Every Gambian should ask themselves, why would Barrow want this guy out? To me, the most likely reason is some of these reports now that they have been generating have been proven very uncomfortable to Barrow and his government because of the high-level corruption that we all have evidence of. If you are not blind, if you are not living in a cave, if you are listening and observing what's in the country, one thing that is without doubt is that there is a pervasive level of corruption. Not low level, high level. We all know, and we all know the quality and the caliber of the people surrounding the president. It is no wonder they are screwing up something, there are ways of removing, somebody you don't like in a competent way. But it tells you about why I use the phrase banana republic. And the caliber of the people that are surrounding the president, that even going about this, they couldn't even look at the relevant legislation to come up with a plausible story about removing this guy. Because if you're going to, if he hasn't done anything wrong, he's doing his job, he shouldn't go. Follow the law, let him finish his term. If he's not delivering, he's incompetent, then remove him. If he's been corrupt, he's doing some sort of malpractice, remove him. But then you wouldn't want him in cabinet. So here, there is something fishy going. And when there's something fishy going, we may not know the details, but we all have sense of smell. We can smell it. So this is the problem here. And I think we will have to be willfully obtuse not to realize what is happening right now.
The auditor may be removed from the office by the office of the president following inability to perform functions of his office arising from infirmity or mind or body, or misbehavior or incompetence. And
now, if somebody
is incompetent,
all of those, would you want them in cabinet?
Want them in cabinet.
Exactly.
So we can dismiss that none of these things exist.
Exactly.
Now, what is the grounds of removing him? But the law is telling you, you cannot just remove him just like that, just because you wake up and drink your coffee and feel okay. You said, I want to remove Minister Kari. You can do that, but not the Auditor General. But this thing happened also with the central bank governor, Jame. Remember, Jame was removed, and central bank, we were told, is an independent body. There were procedures that you're supposed to follow to remove the governor of the central bank. That happened, but there was so much pressure when it happened. People said, no, you don't have those powers. There was so much powers. At some point, the guy had to succumb and left. Are we going to see something like this from this guy also?
Yeah, for me.
Because that,
for me.
what happens here is the independence of our institutions. Like I said, in Gambia, what used to exist, what exists up to now, is we have strong men. We don't have strong institutions. And that is why people said we wanted change. Now, just like he said, if we call for all of this change, today we're just doing the same thing that we were flouting some years back. My thing is, it's not about the man, it's about the office. If the law says you cannot remove the Auditor General, you cannot remove the central bank governor, you have to follow these procedures. Why do you want to do it? Just because you feel like you want to do it?
You know, the problem is, Fatou, leadership in this country, or position holders in this country, they are only holding positions to be served, not to serve. These are facts that are there. You only hold a position to be served, but not to serve, including even us as representatives. I'm telling you this. These are facts that are there. You see salient issues that you know. This is a national concern. But I'll say, you know, my people, my party, my this. You don't look at Gambian first before everything. Because if so is the case, even bills that are passed in Parliament will subject it. That's why the Judicial Union Bill, all of us, we voted against it. This is the reason why we heard clearly that the judges increased their salaries. So you brought us a schedule that is approved by the Constitution, by the budget, while their August salary is being paid a different pay. So we say we are out. We don't want to discuss about these things. So these are issues that I think most of the CNN, that's why I've said, I wrote my interview yesterday, that there is something that is fishy. All what is glittering out is not gold.
It's not gold.
So most of the people said, okay, you know, because of his competency, he's a good guy, let me take him to cabinet and put him into the employment, is whatever.
Maybe he's going to perform better in cabinet.
But now let me tell you this, in terms of area of specialization, Juve, I think Juve. Juve is more of steadier in that area than him. I don't mean in terms of qualification. But if you look at the background, you realize that Auditor General sees where he's more fitted than where he's going. So Juve also, where is more fitted also where he's going. So it means now a chance. Who do I remove as a cabinet minister to replace CC moving? No, let me reflect back. I have a position that is pending. That is the defense minister. Hey, can I talk to you? This is what I have. Strategically move you, try to move that guy who will be a stumbling block for what is coming. Because I know election period, the government would not want any report that would tempt them
to come out.
I'm telling you this. I am alleging that must be the reason why they say, you know what? If we don't finish him this time, if we grow feathers, he'll bring us into spotlight. So this is corruption. Somebody that you choose, be my watchman, take care of me, protect me, show me everything that is going to destroy my government. This is you. So he's doing that. He said, no. In fact, I am moving you. Bringing somebody new. Just the old story, as you have said. He was not there before. He was brought. So the same issue, let's bring and see. So ideally, you said, okay, whoever I will bring must dance to my tune. So if you bring someone who doesn't dance to your tune, you want to remove him tactically. As what doctor said, the law is very clear. How do you remove an Auditor General? It's not like a ministerial position. And I can tell you, the best bet, that's why I concluded to myself, if CC prematurely accept the offer and go as trade minister, the president hires and fires there. He can fire 1 month and say, in fact, he's relieved.
After 1 week?
Yes. And now said, deploy to foreign services. It's all possible. A chance of trying to clean him away. And now don't be surprised. He can even send the same guy who was there and bring him back again. and said, okay, continue to your position. I have done my deal. These are tactics that I'm saying. These are my thinking.
It's looking like it's a way of getting rid of him.
Exactly. So these are the alleges.
I cannot directly fire him from the audit office, but take him to a ministerial job.
Yes.
Fire him whenever I feel like doing it.
So that's why, for me, the decision that he took is a wise decision. Yes, given whatever powers are vested for you to employ, but I am good at where I am. Now, if it is misses, I will not do anything. I will concentrate with my job. And then now, the catch is,
what happens?
If this government is not well advised, they can say, you know what, we give him a position, he refused. You know, in fact, let's try and fire him. If they're not advised properly by law, then that fire will now be a battle between the law and him. Court issues in and out there, a period of delaying. Then now, the auditor's office, I'm not saying that will happen, but I'm just focusing.
Yeah.
If that happens this way, it will not be a delay of a battle of 6 months. Within the period we go to elections, the Office of National Audit will be at a fit that is not even strong. So at the end of the day now, you see, okay, you know, he didn't accept it. Yeah. But we can also play a game to make sure we destabilize. But for me, if I'm CC, I'm strong where I am, and I'll continue my work with diligence, and I will not pressure. Because what I believe on that Gambians, if you are pressurized, all left, right, center, you know, Cairo, Bedam, you know, sacrifice. No, he is doing enough. He's doing good. And transformation agenda that he's doing, I can tell you, we mingle with these auditors. And he trained them. They had training, professional training that they do into the office itself. So all around sectors, for example, most of the committees who are sailing into auditing and budget issues, for example, PEG and FPAC, all his employees are rooted in every sector. You see that CISA will even come and participate, guide us, help us into our audit reports, findings. So this is what we want as an individual. And now the level of lowness that he has within us, you will not even see that this is an Auditor General that is sitting before us. Whatever he thinks he can do the services, he's okay with all this. So what I'm just putting across is, let him stand firm. Okay. And let him know that Gambians are watching. Yeah. So whatever you're doing now, I do tell people, if it's not about stealing or corruption or doing things that are not illegal, whatever you're doing, stand firm and do it very well. Then the rest, you leave it with the mindset of people and leave it with God. Whatever Allah destine will happen. But let him also not see that, pressure is coming, I am just whatever, now let me just leave. If he leaves, he will have incomplete work. And I can tell you, no new Auditor General employed will start from where he left. Office, we all know office is transition. Yeah. If you go wherever you come out. But Gambia, we don't do that. Everyone want to say, okay, he can even say briefing. Yeah. 1 month lane plan, 6 months plan, 1 year strategic plan, 2 year strategic plan, let's develop this. Before he develop, audit reports are already been laid. Difficult to come. We are in an election period. But I'm just saying is, Barrow and his government, Gambian people are watching. We are watching very closely. And this is a case that will continue to watch the unfolding story between him and the National Audit Office.
Well, we'll continue to follow this story as time goes on and see what happens. I hope what happened with the former governor doesn't happen. Hopefully, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see. I think this time maybe very different because since the former governor was removed, people now are just going beyond just talking. As we have seen with recent protests, people are now more willing to, take actions apart from just talking. So we'll see.
We'll see what goes. Now let's look at the MPC, Dr. Gajigo. It looks like, we're doing much better now. They said CBG says foreign market remains stable with 1.3 billion transactions. Mostly is influx from the diaspora and some tourism and others. It looks like we're doing better. And our inflation and other areas also. Have you seen the report? What do you make of the report?
No, I've seen the report. It's like every MPC report from the central bank, and I've been saying this for a while. Yeah. The leadership of the central bank seems to go out of their way to craft a certain narrative that is not supported by the data. When you read in that report, it's like two different texts are in front of you. The headline text, what the words are saying and what the number is saying, the data are saying is completely different. You know, they start with saying the economy is growing strongly, things are going very well. GDP growth rate is 5.3%. Now, the first thing I tell people, okay, if you look at the past 5 years and take the average GDP growth, what is important is not the overall GDP growth, it's GDP per capita, because you want to look at the average income of Gambians. So you look at per capita income. When you look at that, you will find out that our income, you know, the rate at which it's growing, there is no way any reasonable person who understands the implication of those numbers can say those are good. And the example I give is the following. Around the world, you have 4 groups of countries. You have low income, you have lower middle income, upper middle income, and high income countries. We all know Gambia, we are in the low income category.
Yeah.
Over the past 5 years or the past 3 years, if you take the average per capita GDP growth rate, if Gambia maintains that growth rate, for the next 30 years, we will still remain a low income. We will not become even lower middle income. Forget about upper middle income. Now tell me, a rate of growth that will keep you a low income for another generation, is that a strong economic performance? I think that's a rhetorical question. Of course not. Who in our worst nightmare do we expect our grandchildren, the next 30 to 40 years, to still be low income country? No. So this is not strong economic performance. It's not. And nobody who is speaking to you objectively, you know, will tell you that this is strong economic growth. The same thing when they talk about our foreign exchange. Yeah. Now, they talk, we have an excellent foreign exchange market. Now, another example I give here to help people understand why their wording is completely inappropriate is look at the fisheries sector. Today, if somebody comes and tell you the Minister of Fisheries wanted to make a report to the National Assembly and come and says, I'm bringing a report to the fisheries sector. The fisheries sector is doing very well. The total amount of fish caught and traded in the Gambia was this amount of millions of tons. Is that the right indicator? If you want to know whether our fishery sector is doing well, are you going to focus on the quantity of fish traded? No. No. You focus on things like the price of fish for the average Gambian, the amount of fish depletion in our country, the amount of artisanal fishermen whose jobs who are experiencing income growth, the number of women who are working at our fish landing points, are their conditions improving, are their returns on investments improving? Things that matter to the Gambian people, things that matter to citizens, things that affect their standard of living. Those are the indicators you focus on. Now, going back to the MPC, the foreign exchange, the most important indicator the most important price there is the exchange rate. You talk about stable exchange rate. Over the past 5 years, what has been the percentage reduction in the value of the dollar? It's about 50%. By 2019, the dollar exchange rate to the dollar was what? 50. Now it's what? 72.
72. The pound sterling is 90 something.
Yeah. So the dollar has been depreciating significantly, and we also know the proximate factors of that. One of the biggest ones is the following. Currently, our import is about 700 million. Our export, which hasn't gone anywhere over the past 10 years, is currently just a little over 200 million. The trade deficit, the gap between import and export, is been the highest today than it has ever been in the history of the country. And when you have an economy where you are importing everything, you are not exporting, you know, and you have the only factors that will help stabilize your currency are two things for us: the tourism and remittances. But if you look at the foreign exchange earning that is coming through tourism, it's a small fraction of what is coming through remittances. So right now, the only thing holding our currency at where it is the value of remittances, which is around 700 million. The value of remittances is actually higher than the total government budget. It is more than twice the size of foreign direct investment. It is several orders of magnitude higher than the net foreign exchange earnings we get from tourism. The only positive factor that really is holding our this particular market and things not completely imploding, and we are having some foreign exchange earnings to support imports, is something that is not under the control of this government, which is the remittances from Gambians abroad. Everything that is under the control of this government is heading in the wrong direction.
So you're saying that the only remittances is what is holding up right now?
Pretty much.
And still we cannot give those Gambian diasporans what they deserve. Wow.
So this is the problem. So when I look at, so that's not the only one. It's, again, you will see the MPC, they talk about different areas of the economy without linking, causes and for instance, they talk about inflation.
Yes.
And then several paragraphs away, they'll go and talk about trade deficit and debt. But the fact of the matter is, the biggest cause of inflation in the Gambia is what? Almost, if you look at every, the source of, like our things like consumer goods, food, everything we import.
Yeah.
So our because structurally our economy is not producing things that we can produce. We are importing everything, and so we are completely exposed to any outside shocks. And because we have this big trade deficit, and we are not producing anything, it means you have this, self-reinforcing dynamic where as we import more, we need more foreign currency, and we have to sell our currency to get more. So you basically have a lot of dollars is chasing too few. the dollars are not coming in. The only way the dollars are coming that's helping us is mainly through this diaspora remittances. So inflation, when they talk about it, they don't link it to what are the causes. And structurally, the causes are the economy is basically import-based economy. And, as a result of that, you have this proximate cause where you have this huge trade deficit. The debt also, which I dislike about the MPC report, they only talk about domestic debt. Why don't they talk about total debt? They don't also talk about the fact that the total debt is unsustainable. They always talk about, it's at a certain level, it is, as a percentage of GDP is going down, but it's still far higher than the level that is considered sustainable. From the debt sustainable analysis done by World Bank and IMF, the sustainable level of debt for the Gambia is 55% of GDP. We are talking about something close to 80%. So the reality that that is there, that is shown by the numbers that they are quoting by
nice.
No, the numbers are correct, but their interpretation, the narrative they tend to, because Boa, who is appointed there, is moved from the Minister of Finance to go to Central Bank for one and only reason, one reason, to go there and basically be a political appointee for Adama Barrow. He is not the technocrat that we need over there. So this is the reality. It's the numbers. I don't have anything against the numbers. It's the narratives they are crafting that are basically crafted in a way to be politically beneficial to the current regime. But the reality of the fact is that as for any Gambian who's living in this country today, the economy is not doing well. You cannot sugarcoat that.
And this has always been my question, Honorable, when MPC reports come out, when they talk about inflation going down, when they talk about the economy doing well, and I'm looking at it, I'm looking at myself first. I look at myself and I look at my neighbor. Bread price has gone up. Rice has not gone down. Oil has not, nothing has gone down when it comes to commodities that we consume, electricity and everything. But you still tell me that we're doing well as a country, the economy. Is that how you see it?
No, as what Doctor said, in economics, you look at various factors. When you look at, how to call it, consumable goods that we have, all of them, I can even say the higher percentage is all outside. Today, when you see a progressive country, the country should be able to be having stringent laws in saying, look, in terms of cabbage or in terms of banana, we are blocking from this period to this period. We don't want any other banana except Gambian harvested banana. Or from this period to this period, we don't want rice. We want homegrown rice. From this period to this period, we don't want potato, homegrown potatoes. From this period to this period, we don't want what we call onion. We want Gambian onion. So most of the cases, if you look at the senior that they do, if it's Minister of Trade, it's only a quarterly period, very small size months within the period of harvesting, how to call it, onion. They will only lay stringent. Apart from that, nothing. So when you look at the agri sector, is it growing comparing to what the GDP that we want to? When you look at the a lot of key areas that we can transform to become food self-sufficiency. It's a challenge. Now, also look at the key aspects of manpower into the Jahal Pacha.
Yeah.
How old is Jahal Pacha? Since colonial.
Yeah.
Are we able to benefit anything from Jahal Pacha? It's a challenge.
Yeah.
But now you hear they're using big words and big slogans.
I have a more recent example. My apologies for
yes, no problem.
It's a very good example. Jahal Pacha was funded by the African Development Bank over time, but due to lack of investment, now you have big chunks of Jahal Pacha that are actually not cultivated because those are not maintained. But that is something from over 40 years ago.
Exactly.
Let's look at something more recently. There's a rice value chain project that ADB financed that in 2017, millions of dollars to go and develop rice fields in URR and CRR. One of these areas I visited there recently, about 2 weeks ago. It's called Limbambulu.
Yeah.
In Limbambulu, the rice field there is about 50 hectares, about 1 kilometer by 500 meters, and those rice fields are cultivated by 4 to 5 villages. Money was brought in so that area will be cultivated. The area will be developed so that rainy season you can have rice cultivation. In the dry season, water can be pumped from the river and irrigated.
Yeah.
What did this government do? They went and gave the project to somebody who's politically connected, who has no competence, who has no experience in rice in land development. Because developing a parcel of land for agriculture, for rice cultivation, requires technical skills. It's not just you bring a tractor up and down, no. Leveling, you have to build dikes, canals, pumping stations. Fatou, I went to this place. Today in that village, the rice that they are able, the area that they're able to cultivate is a small fraction of what they used to cultivate. The people are so angry that they've told me, I had meetings with them where they told me that next time a project comes, they don't want any Gambian involved in it. Bring the Chinese. Because in those days when the Chinese were doing projects, at least they benefited.
Yeah.
So right now, 50 hectares, 1 kilometer by 500 meters in Limbambulu, it's currently inundated with so much water, you cannot put rice there. In the dry season, because the person who did the construction work, the dikes, every few meters, the canals are completely cracked. It's like if somebody is supposed to put 10 bags of cement in an area, they went and put 1 bag. The pumping station half completed. You can still see the rods coming out. Water drainage system that they built around there, now it's killing animals almost on a weekly basis. It's so deep because nobody's cultivating rice there. When animals go and wander there, they fall inside the ditch, and because there's nobody cultivating the rice, because they cannot cultivate it, before people realize that the animals are lost, they've drowned inside that ditch. So here is a project from a donor to go and develop our rice field in a certain region. And now you've actually made the situation worse. Now they are growing less rice than they used to in the 70s, in the 80s, in the 90s, in early 2000. This is why, and many people are surprised by this. The rice yield during Jawara's time, during Jamme's time, is far higher than the rice yield currently. The groundnut production is far higher during Jamme and Jawara's time than currently. During Jawara's time, we were producing over 100,000 tons of rice per year. During Jamme, it was over 90,000. Today, on the Barrow, is less than 50,000.
Wow.
The amount of rice cultivation today is less than half of what it was on the Jamme. Our rice yield over the past 3 years is the lowest in all of ECOWAS, including countries that have had years of civil war. Agriculture right now under this government is in a disastrous state, and it's just getting worse because not only are things, the government has no plan, but the assistance that we are getting, they are squandering it. So this rice value chain project from ADB, given that it's so badly handled, do you think that another donor that's coming in that might want to do something similar would be very forthcoming?
Why is it that? Because agriculture has more grants and, and partnerships than any ministry in this country. You go to agriculture, all you see is project. Every day you see their vehicles. Project this, project that, project that. So why are we doing so badly?
This is one of the I always start whenever you have problems in the government. I always start with one thing, and I really urge everyone to start with that.
Yeah.
It always starts at leadership. When the president is talking about the state of nation and he talks about agriculture, listen very carefully to what sort of indicators he focuses on. I always point out the indicators he focuses on, just like in fisheries, he talks about the quantity of money we got from fish rather than the price of fish. Last so far and the one before, he never mentioned the price of fish or the depletion of our fish stock. The same thing in agriculture. The things that matter, the yield, the access to input. So his leadership is the most important thing. Everything else is secondary. So when you have a leader like what we have, and you have somebody like Demba Sabali appointed, who spends more time making political commentary than talking about the state of agriculture, do you think that leadership at the top will hold project implementing units at the Ministry of Agriculture accountable for lack of delivery? Absolutely not. So which is why at the level of CPCU, many of these projects fail to deliver. Let me give another example. The number of women gardens, horticultural gardens in the Gambia across the world, it's about 130. I went around the country to estimate this myself. I know if you sit down and estimate what those women need in terms of boreholes, in terms of fencing, in terms of seeds, in terms of cold storage, what you will need, if you add it up, it won't exceed $10 million US.
It won't exceed that?
It will not exceed. But let me name for you all the projects over the past 10 years that we've had that are supposed to address the horticultural sector. We've had GCAF, FASDEP, NEMA, Giraffe, Roots. On average, each of these projects is about $50 million. So overall, over the past 10 years, we've received over $250 million from donors, where...
Just horticultural?
No, I mean, they have other areas too.
Also.
But if you assume even only 25% is horticulture, what I'm trying to say here is that the amount of resources the country has received to take care of horticulture, we shouldn't have any horticultural problem. But yet, the vast majority of gardens, and me, I have a foundation that supports women gardening across the country. I travel around the country to see these things. And I talk to women gardening from Khartoum all the way to Koina. The amount of women gardens or village gardens you will go to where they don't have water problem, fencing problem, seeds problem, storage problem, it doesn't exist. Yet the resources we have to address all of this is more than sufficient. It's several times over. Now, if you have a leader at the State House and at the Ministry of Agriculture that are serious about agricultural sector, we will be witnessing things that we are not witnessing right now. So the problem, first and foremost, is at the very top. So the government talking about, if you probably have listened. I mean, I've heard the Minister of Finance a couple of times being asked, why is it that in the budget you have only a small amount for agriculture? And they would say something like, oh, we have projects.
We have projects.
Projects that are doing this and this. Now, you are the one still in charge of, you have Minister of Agriculture, you have a president. Now, if a problem has been taken care of you don't have to budget for it. All you have to do is implement, execute plans. Where are the results? Ground production is going down. Yield is going down. Aflatoxin level is going up. Yield relative to other countries, like Gambia and Senegal, we used to have similar level of rice yield in the 90s, about 2.5 tons per hectare. Now Senegal's yield is 4 tons per hectare on average. Gambia, over the last 5 years, our rice yield is less than 1 ton per hectare. It's the lowest rice yield in all of ECOWAS.
That's bad.
No, generally, I think most of these projects, that's what Doctor said, you realize that some of these projects goes into vehicles.
Yes.
Personal, because last year, the soil fertility project that we've approved in Parliament, we know it's not working. You won't hear anything about it. Because when you look at, we have what we call National Research Institute, NARI.
NARI.
But why creating within the ministry, and people will even be scrambling now? Doctor works in Ministry of Agriculture, or Honorable Gibba work in Minister of Agriculture, leaving his position to go and join projects.
Yeah.
You see this?
Everybody wants to be on the project.
You know, so these are issues that are...
It's the most lucrative position.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, you realize that it is eating most of the chunk of that donors that are sending. I can give you this example. In Fonyi Kansala, before change, our village alone, Jame used to have a big furrow. You know what he does with that furrow?
Yeah.
He will come and initiate. Tractors will come. Then when rice is grown, we will harvest. He will now say, okay, the village, take this chunk.
Yeah.
Pound it. They have a pounding machine that will also change narrative. Even in Buyam is there. Then they will share among. You go to Kampanti, where that guy was killed, that bridge end.
Yeah.
Around this end, it's all cleared. Rice is grown. You go to where the so-called Senegalese soldiers are in Buyam, that furrow, up to the last dot of the bolong, is all a furrow end. People grow rice. But I can tell you, these are all deserts. And now the level of intrusion of salt taking our furrows is alarming. So I don't know whether Minister of Agriculture, that's why sometimes I will even say people, you know, give a position to the person who knows and ready to deliver into the sector.
Yeah.
The biggest problem that we have is, he is my friend. I'll give him a position. Then he will support me in whatever cause that I'm standing. So this is what is trying to, how to call it, bring failure into all sectors. Because now look at, for example, now, who is the Minister of Agriculture? What does he know in agricultural sector? Was he even in Gambia for a period within the agricultural sector? Can he understand the level playing field of farming industry? Where was Demba then? When he came, where was he? So you look at the narratives. That's why I said you cannot balance the former Minister of Agriculture and Demba, Ami Fabure.
No.
It's just Bana Samai wal Ard, the difference between the seven heavens and earth. These are realities. These are clear indications. This was a woman who had nurtured herself from the grassroots gardening. He understands agriculture from the central nervous system. But today where he is, he's just lavassing, being an ambassador in Guinea-Bissau. When he could have been the guy who will be able to at least, you know, break barricades so that the agriculture sector will realize. I am telling you, you will hear this chunk of food self-sufficiency. That's why I always tell them, because even questions that I raise in Parliament, I do put them this way. And Fatou, it was never answered by either the finance minister or even the Minister of Justice. You know where Gaj is. Gaj, around Banjulinde, where he had a tomato farm.
Yeah.
But now he's building.
Yeah.
In 2016 change, 2018, 20...
Isn't it shops now?
Yeah, it's
exactly.
They're building a shop.
What
now.
I'm saying, that area,
And that was...
you know, it was a bigger whatever, where it was full with rice.
It was allocated
That was
factory.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It was Gambian made on rice with Gambian flag. 2016 was the year that Jammeh said, if he wants, rice will be available. But I asked them, where are those bags of rice? Where are they? Nobody will be able to tell you it is available, it is here, or X, Y, Z. So I think the seriousness in the agricultural sector is only at the policy level. Come, Ngambamal Parliament, Ngadem Sayon. If you want to talk, you hear commotion in Parliament. No, he has answered. And we also have stringent laws that are also affecting for us to hold ministers accountable. Because if the law is just holding this side and leaving the other side, this is also a problem. So for us also, not only the constitution, we also have our standing order that is also affecting our functions in Parliament. Sometimes when you ask, say, no, this is a question that you need to raise. You should not ask this way. But if laws are also changed, we will be able to put a test to ministers. Ministers, when they come to Parliament, they should know that they are going to face the Gambian people. Yeah. Because for me, the Fonyi Council, the Combo East, the Basset and whatever, they are Gambia. We are representing them. Yeah. But now you realize that in the agriculture sector, tell me, in the Fonyis, you would not see a befitting furrow that is even financed or assisted by the government. Look at Jakoi last year. It was a communal farm. They joined together, build their tractors, have their plowing machines. They harvested. And those rice that they got now, they shared within the village. Those supported by rice value chain into aspect of it, we understand. But now you realize that the support that they need is a challenge. For example, today in our Fonyi Council, I haven't seen any area that said fertilizer is available, tractors is available. It's a challenge.
No government.
So now, for example, if all Tom, Dick, and Harry when they came 2016, they seized all tractors, sell them, or outsource them, or give it to their friends, and they remove from people who are in the farm. I can tell you for Fonyi Councillor alone, our furrows are almost dead. Women are no more going to the farm. And as we have said, for us when we are even young or even grown up, you realize that really you buy a bag of rice in that time, you use the furrow proceeds that you could also be uplift yourself within the dry season period. Up to rainy season, your father will start even buying rice. But this is history now. And if you look at the groundnut aspects, it's also declining. The issue of
significantly
is also declining. The issue of maize also is also declining. So now you realize that lands are going, deforestation, people are entering into, for example, people would say, okay, no, doctor, before I go into farming, why can't I go and cut this and make charcoal?
Yeah.
So this is what they believe in, because why? Tools are not available. Machinery is a challenge. So I think in order for us to be able to talk about a country that is progressing, let's check about our stomach.
First, this is important.
Let's talk about our health.
Food security.
Food security.
Exactly.
That's important. I tell people, when you tell me the economy is good, let me look at myself, soul searching first. But doctor, the minister also addressed the National Assembly. Mid-year report. The minister said we have a very strong, the Gambia posts strong mid-year revenue gains amid 724.84 million budget deficit. Even though our revenue is very strong half of the year, but we still have a deficit of over 700 million. I think one of the issues also that came in was the donor partners. The entire half of the year, nothing came, nothing. And you're telling me countries like Kenya and others, they're getting this. But I'm thinking, to government's defense, the U.S. is the biggest donor partner, right? And this
not directly, but I mean
through agencies.
Through agencies. But obviously we know what is happening with the United States. So could that be the reason why nothing is up the entire 6 months?
No, it's not. I don't think it's the only reason. Like I said, it's been that trend has been ongoing before Donald Trump came.
Yeah. Okay.
The reduction in aid. And that is not something where it's, usually it happens because, you mentioned security sector reform. We've been talking about this since when? What has been done? Apart from consultation meeting here and here, validation meeting here and here, we are very good at that. Consultation, validation meeting, especially when they are held at these hotels. Everybody attends. No matter how many important meetings you have at the office, those meetings will wait. You go to that consultation, that validation meeting. So anyway, lot of talk, no substance. Because as I gave you the example in this rice value chain, and that's not the only project, even another ADB project that, when the auditors are done, you will see the disasters that happen there, fast day projects. You have many of these projects that did not deliver. And these donors, these bilateral donors, all these EU members, they sit in the boards of African Development Bank, in the boards of World Bank. If something goes wrong with an ADB project, the rest also, they know what's happening. So it's not, we cannot blame like immediate events in the US on the reduction in aid flows. It is something that has been ongoing for a while, and there's a reason for it. And this is basically lack of confidence in the government's ability to implement properly projects and programs. Not just donor-funded ones, but things that they themselves have committed to. Example, the security sector reform, or just managing the economy. And they are not blind to all of this pervasive corruption. And they pay attention to mechanisms that are supposed to improve good governance, that are supposed to hold governments accountable. So if you are trying to move people left, in and out from your Auditor General's position, these are signals you are sending. And these are not good signals. They are not good signals. Yeah, and so...
But the IMF said they have increased Gambia's, State House is reporting, the IMF has said they have increased Gambia's IMF has increased its financial support to the Gambia to more than 165 million, citing the country's sustained microeconomic reforms and development progress.
Yeah.
So how does this make sense that nothing is coming, but IMF is you know.
Well, what is IMF giving to us? Are they let's ask ourselves, are they grants?
Oh, no.
They say
These are credit facilities. The word credit
the
there
package includes 100 million under the enhanced credit facility
Thank
and
you.
additional 65 million in climate smart financing to foster resilience and sustainable growth. Not grants. These are credit facilities.
These are loans.
Exactly.
Loans.
These are things that have to be paid back, and your ability to pay these things back depends on how well your country, your economy is going, how well how much. Because some of these, if you don't have good governance, if the things that the audit office is supposed to look at to make sure that the resources that are coming in are efficiently and effectively spent, and things are executed well and proper compliance. If those things don't happen, and we know lots of audit reports are showing that these things are not happening, this money that is coming, it's not. It's just going to be misspent like everything else. And if you look at the budget, and we've talked about this at the when the budget came out, like every other budget, what do you see in this budget? It's heavily lopsided towards recurrent expenditures, very little in development expenditures. And then when you look at sector allocations, things look very, how can you have $2 billion allocated to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs? You look at the development budget for things like, for essential ministries like education, health, high education. It's a fraction of that. Why do we need all of those embassies? If you remove somebody because he's not doing well, it's oh no, it's not going to be fired. Redeploy them
to the foreign service.
So this media report is not saying anything new. It's basically saying that the picture we gave you about the wrong path we are taking at the beginning of the year, we are halfway along that wrong path.
But the 700-something million deficit, what does that mean for me, the ordinary Gambian?
The deficit basically, that's a good question. The deficit, basically when you have a deficit here, it just tells you the government is spending more than, more than the revenue it's getting. Now, deficit is not always bad. Just like I tell people, debt is not always bad. Debt is good. Without debt, there'll be no growth, no private sector. What is good is that if you have debt, you go and invest into something and get high returns. Then you keep your return, you pay your debt back. For a government, it's a bit different. When you when you have deficit, as long as you put that into something that has high economic and social returns, the economy grows faster than it should, then you have a bigger tax base. Even though if you have deficit now, as the country grows, the tax base increases. In the future, your increase in revenue over time can easily compensate and pay for that debt that you've taken, because the growth in income can cover the debt servicing costs. But if you have a country like the Gambia, where our economy, like I said, income growth is not happening. Per capita, we have something like 2.something%. And some of these loans we are taking, the concessional ones are very low loans, not to worry about. But we have a huge amount of debt on our balance sheets that have been taken by the likes of NAWEC, the likes of Gamtel and Gamcel, that were taken on commercial terms. Those require very high interest rates. So you borrow this, you have these debts on your book. Project money is coming in, even if that amount, those resources are given on concessional terms, your economy is not going anywhere. That deficit, the only thing it is telling people is that your debt to GDP ratio will stay high. Your economy and the future, and not the economy, forget about the economy, the citizens will be saddled with a high debt payment. In the last budget, what percentage of our budget went into debt servicing? About a third. Before that, the year before, it was about a quarter. At that trend, we will have a situation where half of the budget is go towards debt servicing. So if the government is touting an IMF report, and we are talking about, even if it is a grant, money that's coming in is not poorly spent, it's not going to benefit anyone, especially if it's loan that you have to pay back. Then it matters very well how those resources are spent. So this budget here basically is not. The report by the Minister of Finance is not telling us anything new. Like I said, we already knew the path the government was on. The only thing we know now from the minister's report is that they are halfway on that path. So the lopsidedness of the budget in terms of recurrent versus development, the misallocation of resources, into non-productive sectors against productive sectors, those things still remain there. Yeah. So budget execution here, actually another part, this is more like a public finance related issue. We'll have to wait until the end of the year to see whether budget execution is actually being done with absolute fidelity to the plan. Because what we know from this government is that at the end of the year, you will find that what is planned and what is actually spent, when you look at everything at the end of the year, there's usually a big deviation. So
it's the same.
Things, anyone who looks at the budget and at the beginning of last year, I mean, at the end of last year, and and then you are faced with the report from the minister now. There's nothing to make you to comfort you.
In terms of what the doctor is saying, we also have what we call donor fatigue is also surfacing in the country. Looking at the security sector, all these reforms agenda that they have set, like a partner like DCAF, doing all out drafting bills, doing all necessary, push to the government, the bills are still lingering from Justice Minister to the department concerned or to the ministry concerned, from the ministry concerned to the department. 8 years, no single institution or a department or an institutional bill laid before Parliament. When DCAF had done everything, all these they've been validated, everything was done. Now you sit within the security sector and here donors that will come. For example, in the EU will come with their own plan, what they want you to do, but not what you want to do. For example, now issues, they will come and say, okay, illegal migration. How do we fight that? This is much that we want you to focus on. It's not about the MDP or the NDP plan of security sector reform. Because, for example, today, if you talk about security sector, that's what we told them lastly in the budget, that you cannot talk about security sector reform when you don't even have a budget line. How do you expect for that to take shape? Because, for example, if you talk about reform, you have to get an envelope where you'll be able to pick in and say, okay, this is what we can do much. In as much as we cannot, but we have now moved so far this. In security sector, that's why last year I told you in Parliament, what I know what is happening in this government is security sector reporting. Because when they came, a lot of security officers who had served diligently in their work for years of 20 years, 30 years, Fatou, they have never even had a single charge sheet. They remove. They are even told to, what word would I even use? They've been relegated and said, you know what, let me give you a retirement package. Retire. Somebody who is 40 years old, less than even 50. In lesser older than even the CDS. He's now not be useful. But now you realize that people who have you fought together for change, you're bringing them back to security. The chunk that is affecting our security institutions is people who are served diligently, are there demotivated, people who have served and they have been alleged done, and they came and said, yes, we did this. They are now in the hem affairs of leadership. So you see that compromise that is doing. And again, also, I do tell them, if you want reform, for example, today, the civil service had reform in terms of their pay. But for security sector, the moment you talk about informing their pay, they will say, okay, you know what? The biggest challenge that you people are saying, in terms of turnover or in terms of enhancing the security, there must be bills that will accompany your structural pay. So if those bills are still lingering behind, where are we categorizing them? And an angry security is next to murder. So all these institutions within the security, like from the police, the army, the drug squad, intelligence, talk about the police, all the security institutions, none of their bills are in place and progressive to say, you know what, by month so and so and so, this bill will be up and running. And I can tell you one thing. If you look at we have attended the validation of the immigration bill. Government, the minister talked about revenue collection. We are tapping GRA as the best. They're doing very well. But the government themselves didn't know that they could also employ the same tactics to immigration. Immigration can generate revenue that we may not even expect. But you realize that even revenue collection for immigration, they have to rent vehicles. They rent vehicles and collect revenue for government. And when they collect revenue for government, they pay to the consolidation fund for government, and they see those people who are collecting revenue are the least paid.
Wow.
Work as an animal, give me everything, I am the boss, pay me higher, collect and give me, continue paying me, yet still you are not. So the narrative could be in this.
Yeah.
Push the immigration bill, be in, empower them, have their unit that will be able to focus, and now increase what they think they will also be productive in their way, just as what we did with GRA.
Yeah.
Then it will finish. Last year, I think when we went around our tour, I think it's about 200 something million that they collected the whole Serekunda alone. Immigration.
That's a lot.
So these are issues that I think, if you look at sectors that can make change, those sectors are ignored. For example, if you look at the educational sector, today if you go to the higher education, look at their budget line in terms of development. What is there for them?
Yeah.
Last budget, it was 0.5.
Yeah.
So they wanted to maintain this. We told them, no, you know what? Yeah. What we cut, that's what we gave to the higher education and said, it has to happen. If not, all these different institutions would have closed. It is only the minister who is good in lobbying. He lobbies and makes things work.
Yeah.
This is why some of these institutions or the skills training centers also. And the other thing that you could also be very interested in is, for example, when you look at the whole of these sectors, government don't prioritize sectors. As what he said, we have a lot of embassies. Give them revenue based by merit. Each and every embassy should be able to make change of something. You cannot be an ambassador in Washington, D.C. What are you bringing us? We are not saying we are paying you to bring something, but you serve as what? A flag holder for the Gambia. Do something. Go into investment. Go into issues that will be able to make dividend change for this country. Yeah. But a lot of those embassies are just there for the, as he has said, if you do something, they say, okay, redeploy him to foreign service or redeploy him to this area. Yeah. So each and every sector, if we don't make use of our sectors, it becomes a challenge. Look at what we have UTG today. University of the Gambia, years ahead, their tuition fees are still stagnant. Now, an institution like UTG, subventions that the government is giving, they cannot even pay their salaries. They are also using the fees to be able to serve as a complement. Now, you're also saying them, in order for them to be productive, still don't increase the fees. If you increase, it becomes another burden to government. So this is all balancing. And now when you look at higher education also, they give scholarships. Those scholarships also are manageably understood within universities. But not, for example, if you give scholarship to me, I am paying today that scholarship monetary terms of doctor who is the head of university finance. It is a paper that you send. Yeah. So they manage with that areas. Follow finance to pay. Yeah. Now, how do you think that institution will run? So these are issues that we are facing as a country. So it will only happen when we change the narrative to become realistically in terms of we improve into our financial gain in terms of revenue collection. As it could have, it was difficult. GRA is doing, but there are a lot of issues that they also wanted to involve digitalization of GSMs. But Fatou, guess what? Ask whether GRA is it happening. Who had blocked that not to happen? GRA wanted to do digitalization of telecoms industries. A lot of losses have been done in that area. Look at this water. Before, you owe a water whatever company, you can say, okay, I produce 150,000 bottles. Just average. When the GRA come, you tell them. But with this tax now, each and every individual will understand that this is it. Why can they do it for telecoms industry? But why is that not working?
Why is that not working? We all know, but we will come to that. And I think there's so much we wanted to look at, but I don't have time right now because we have another program that is coming and, other engagements. But we will look at some more issues, Doctor, especially when it comes to the economy. Okay. I tell people, when you want to know if the economy is doing well, look at yourself. For me, that is my best gauge of the economy. Yesterday, how was I doing? How am I doing today? How is my neighbor doing? That is my best measurement of the economy. And that brings us to the end of the show, Dr. Gajigo. Final message to the viewers.
I'm always always forget that that's a final message.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, let's. I know we spoke about this a bit, but I think this week one of the most salient issues is this: what's going to happen in the National Audit Office.
Yeah.
So I urge every Gambian to pay attention to that. To pay attention to what's happening. Let's see. It's more than just one individual losing their job. It's not just, I don't know Motsise.
Yeah.
I don't know him I don't know him personally.
Yeah.
It's not a question of helping an acquaintance or a friend to keep his job.
Yeah.
But the implications are immense.
Yeah.
There are, government accountability, corruption, governance, what have you. I mean, as even the issues we are talking about recently about the economy, donor funds, these are all linked to the issue of accountability in government. Yeah. And it's important that people, take a stance when it comes to government doing things that are blatantly illegal, that goes against the Constitution, as imperfect as it is, that goes against existing laws. And if Mr. Cisse continues to hold that he does not want the ministerial appointment and he wants to continue in his position, and government insists on replacing him, what we are faced with is unlawful firing with very serious adverse implications for governance in this country. So we need to pay attention to that very well.
Pay attention to that, Gibba.
Yes, I think exactly. This is the trailing issue, and we are all in this together. As representative, I even tell them, is this is going for the? I said, no, it's not about that. It's about the credibility of the institutions. It's not about Cisse. I knew him.
It's about the office.
It's about the office and what the office is capable of doing. And after he left, this will be, a wrong that happened yesterday, we should not entertain it.
Yeah.
If we mean correction in terms of good governance. And I believe that government will learn its lessons in this. I am urging the president to be able to, if he's ill-advised, let him take his stand and listen to the Gambian people that they're pushing into a wrong direction. If Cisse says he doesn't want the ministerial positions, let him return back to his position and continue his job. But if they try to terrorize him, Gambians, we are all watching. He will not be alone in this, but he will be with the Gambian people. Because why? The way he is called the National Auditor General is the Gambia. Yeah. It is us. He is auditing our finance for us Gambians. So whatever he is facing now, it is us Gambians against the incumbent, that is the government. And the government is also us. It is us versus us. With an intermediary, him being the player to make sure us will do what is right for all of us. So I believe so. His services that he's doing, he should continue on that without fear or favor, ill will or affection, and let him know that this position is an amanat, it's a responsibility. Because if you're given a high position responsibility, you should do it to the last dot. And continuity with the services, and the way he's been hit and said, okay, we want to transfer to this, should not anyway change his narrative into his auditing role. I think he should be more of ready now than before to say, let's conclude and unearth all necessary for the Gambian people to know. So on that note, I'm also trying to tell him for him to be focused and be brave enough and let him face the challenges. And I can bet, I don't say that will happen. But if the worst come to the worst and said, in fact, base you don't want to do, we are firing you, he should be ready to seek a redress in the courts and to make sure that the government learn its mistake, just as what they did.
And in the court of public opinion.
And the court of public opinion.
Exactly.
I think he already won that one.
Yes. So generally, I think these are testing grounds that you could so if they are now promoting the rule of law and good governance, I think the best catch is for the government and the advisors of the president who are listening to all of us. Let them advise the president to leave Cisse to continue his work. He didn't want to go. He wanted to continue serving.
And that advice is to the chief legal officer, that's the justice minister.
Exactly.
The justice minister should be able to advise the president properly on the laws and what laws guide anybody's employment or removal. And I think the National Audit Office Act is very clear on the removal of the Auditor General, just like, it's an independent body. And I hope and pray that the Justice Minister advises the President properly based on what the law says. And hopefully we follow this developing story.
Yeah.
The Auditor General has declined. Now we're waiting the response of the government. So hopefully we'll hear something before the end of the week, that is tomorrow, or by next week. Hopefully we hear something.
Sure.
But until then, good night to you all. Thank you very much, Dr. Gajigo and Honorable Gibba.
Thank you.
I'll see you guys next week, Thursday. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We are happy to announce the launch of our new logo. We have evolved since our incorporation in 1997, and it is time to refresh our new look to reflect who we are today. Before I reveal our new look, however, walk with me while I take you through our journey of the last 25 years. Trust Bank was incorporated on July 3rd, 1997 and began operations on October 1st, 1997. Following the collapse of the parent company of its predecessor, Meridian, the CBG stepped in and recapitalized the bank and held the shares in trust, thus the name Trust Bank. In 1999, the first investors who responded to the IPO and paid $1.50 per share received their maiden dividend of 50 bututs per share. In 2000, the bank fully paid back its investment by declaring another dividend of $1.20 bututs per share, making it a cumulative dividend per share of $1.70, which was 20 bututs above the purchase price. Between 2002 to date, share capital has increased from $27 million to $200 million, indicating that the bank has grown organically by plowing back profits to increase capital, while at the same time paying dividends to shareholders. The bank was listed on the Ghana Stock Exchange in November 2002, being the first ever cross-border listing in the sub-region. Now let's talk about awards. The bank was awarded the insignia of the National Order of the Republic of the Gambia, ORG, in the year 2010 by His Excellency the President of the Republic of the Gambia. During the past years, the bank has received so many national and international awards. Banker Magazine, 6 times. Global Finance, 6 times. Gambia Chamber of Commerce and Industry, 5 times. We began operations with 3 branches. Now, we have 18 branches and 20 ATMs and counting. On digital services, mobile app, check. Online banking, check. Transaction alerts, check. Watch this space. We've got more coming. Creating employment, yes, we've got that too. 400 and counting. And we take great care of our people too. Medical insurance, life insurance, private and state pensions, annual pilgrimages for both Muslims and Christians, training, yes, we do them all. One team, one family, one goal. That's the Trust Bank spirit. On corporate social responsibility, we have spent over $50 million in various causes. We care, and so we share. Over the years, we have paid over $1.6 billion to our shareholders, which translates to a whopping $20 per share and counting. Phenomenal returns for our shareholders who purchased at $1.50. Corporate taxes, over $1 billion is paid. Our journey started with a vision to create the kind of company that delivers quality services and innovative products with an inspired team dedicated to serving our customers, our environment, and our communities at large in the most caring manner. We remain fully committed to delivering excellent services to each of our stakeholders, customers, employees, shareholders, and partners. So, we remain true to who we have always been.